Hey, welcome everyone to Father, Son, and Holy Sport Weekly NFL Show. It's G-Man right here and T-Money coming to you live in NFL Week 16. Bringing you our entertaining father-son camaraderie that you all love, getting you ready for the upcoming NFL week. And how do we get you ready? We got best bets for you. We got fantasy advice, and we talk about the hottest challenges facing each NFL team. That's Father, Son, and Holy Sport, bringing it to you every week. Team Money, how you doing this week?
I'm all right. G-Man. How about you?
Hey, getting ready, man. It's going to be fun having some games Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
I know it's a good one, and me and you are facing off in fantasy football championship or semifinals this week. So winner goes to the ship. Good luck, but not too much luck.
Good luck to you too. And the best always rises up to the top, and that's why we're playing each other. We're not doing the show for the heck of it. We're doing the show because we know what the heck we're talking about. But you got to wait for the fantasy segment to learn more. Hey, but speaking of learning, how about Dan Campbell, man? Dan Campbell, the guy behind me right here. Dan, he gets it going in the locker room. He's been learning. He keeps on making these fourth down calls and these crazy calls, but they do win. But not last week. They lose to Buffalo. They still hold on to the number one seed in the NFC. But Team Money, are you panicking yet about Detroit?
Oh, it's going to be interesting with Detroit. I'm not panicking about their offense. I'm panicking about their defense. All right. Their defense has been very sketchy the past few weeks. Green Bay played very well against them, and they won with a last-second field goal, but Green Bay scored 31. And then the next week, they let Buffalo put up 48 points on them. So they've allowed 79 points the past 2 weeks, 80 points. 40 points a game average right now because this defensive injuries are mounting. They have the most players on IR or the PUP list of any team in the NFL. So they're just losing players. And at this late in the season, you can't sign free agents. You can't bring guys off the street that have been in the system. So I think it is panic time because their defense is falling apart, and it already wasn't the best to begin with. And so, yes, this offense can be potent. But if they lose this one seed, now Jared Goff is no longer playing in a dome. They're on the road, and they're going to be at Green Bay. They're going to be at Philadelphia in the playoffs. Those are cold, harsh environments, and that's what scares me for these guys. So, yes, it's panic time because right now it's all going to come down to that game versus Minnesota on Week 18 because that's for the division, and the winner of the division is most likely going to be the 1 or 2 seed. The second place goes all the way to 5th. So it is a little bit of panic time right now, G-Man.
Yeah, good points. And also don't forget David Montgomery out on that offensive side of the ball. That could really hurt them.
Yeah, it could. That's a great point. That Sonic and Knuckles duo there is awesome. Their offense still can do it because they have the best offensive line in the league. They still have a great 1A in Gibbs, and St. Brown is great. So is Laporta. So they have the offense. I'm not too worried, but in the cold, not in a dome, Jared Goff scares me a little.
Yeah, and Dan, come on, Dan. Come on, Dan. Do it, baby. Get them fired up. Going into Chicago this week. They're favored by almost a touchdown at Chicago.
Yeah.
Dan, you got to fight through it, Dan. Let's go, baby. Keep it going. Hey, with the Detroit loss and its injuries, Team Money combined with the Eagles' dominating win over the big bad Steelers last week, is Philly now the best team in the NFL?
Man, they certainly look like it, don't they? It's hard to take the Chiefs off the pedestal that they are, right? They are the best record in the league. They are the 2-time defending champs, best coach, best quarterback. It's hard to take them out. But if you're telling me just right this second, who's playing the best now in a game, and they're both meeting in the Super Bowl, and they're both playing well, I don't know. In the playoffs, Patrick Mahomes is a different beast. But right now, they certainly look like the best team. All right? Yeah. They're on a massive winning streak. I think their best winning streak ever, up to, I think, 10 games in a row now. They beat Pittsburgh soundly. They're passing the ball if they need to. This is a scary team to play. Their defense is one of, if not the best in the league this year, which is a huge turnaround. That was their big concern last year. If they can keep the drama the A.J. Brown and, wants the ball and everything inside and keep feeding Saquon, this team looks like they're headed for at least the NFC Championship game. So if that's the case, they are one of the best teams in the NFL. And right now they look like they're and playing like the best team in the NFL.
Yeah, well, they're definitely the best team in the NFC. We'll probably agree on that.
I think so right now with Detroit's injuries, yeah.
They surpassed the Lions. They really have no holes. Okay, their defense is probably the best in the NFL. Their offense is so balanced right now, and they got a great quarterback who's delivering. And they've beat the competition. They beat the Packers. They beat the Ravens. They beat the Steelers. They beat the Commanders last time they played, and they demolished the Bengals and the Rams.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think they still have a chance at the 1 seed too. These guys get a bye, that could really benefit them. So they're sitting in a good position. They can't even fall, I don't even think, to the 3 seed at this point. The next best team is 8-6. So they could lose out and they're locked into at least the 2 seed, which is pretty crazy. So they're in a great position to do some real damage. I would not want to play them in the playoffs right now. They are hot, and they have a decent finishing schedule, all division games, Washington, Dallas, New York. They get past the Commanders here. They're home free, skating in easy.
Yep, and Team Money mentioned the Commanders. At the Commanders, Philly. At the Commanders this week, Philly in first in the NFC East. Commanders 3 games back. They're going to be tough out this weekend. Sunday at 1 o'clock. And the Commanders need a couple more wins to clinch a wild card berth. So they're going to be in there swinging.
Yeah.
If they lose to both the Eagles and the Falcons, they could be in trouble. But this is going to be a close game. Hey, let's move on here and talk a little more about another very impressive team. Josh Allen and the Bills pull off the upset of the week last week, ending Detroit's long winning streak. The Bills are now 14-point favorites coming up in this next game against the Patriots. So it looks like they get that, but we'll see. But it's the biggest spread of the week. And they put up 40-plus points in back-to-back weeks, Team Money. Is this the scariest team you've ever seen in your life?
Hey, they definitely are scary. All right. This is definitely a scary team. All right. They are, I would say, all but locked in to the 2 seed here. And I know you're saying, the Steelers are right on their heels, but Buffalo plays New England, the Jets, and the New England to finish. They're basically locked into going 3-0 here. This is a scary offense. Josh Allen is a scary player right now. They've won 8 out of their last 9, with their one loss coming where they scored 42 points. And in 8 straight games, they have scored over 30 points. So this offense is potent, okay? And that's what's scary about this team is it doesn't matter who they're playing. Kansas City's defense, San Francisco's defense, Detroit's defense, any of these teams, they're putting up 30. A bad game is 31 points for them, 32 points. They're going to go for 38, 40 points. So that's what makes them so scary. And I want to have everyone take a breath because we just talked about Detroit's defense. And I said, I don't like how they let 79 points the past 2 games up. This team allowed 90 or 86 points the last 2 weeks. So scariest team, scariest offense, for sure. Scariest team, this defense still needs to prove a little bit, and you're not going to learn anything playing the New England Boy Scouts and the Jets, old-timer Hall of Famers, wannabes. So these next 3 games don't mean anything for what their defense looks like. Just get healthy, look good, but I certainly wouldn't want to play them. Scariest team, I'm going to hesitate just because this defense has been real leaky the past few weeks.
Yeah, good points. Good points. I agree with your points. I do think they're scary. I mean, you've got to score at their level to beat them. Who can put up 40 points in this league?
I know.
So you've got to score with them. That's what makes them scary. Can you outscore them? And they still got a shot at the AFC Championship. Kansas City's 2 games up on them. But they got a shot at the AFC number 1 seed still. Because as you mentioned, that with that schedule, they could win out. So let's see what happens. The Bills, 14-point favorites this week. I like the Bills. You wait for our big bet show, but I just can't imagine, as we just said, the Patriots scoring 30 or 40 points. There's no way. Sorry, man. This one's easy victory here. Will they cover the spread? G-Man will tell you coming up here, but let's go to Team Money. A team that's got your heart, never going to let go of your heart. The team that you look out the window and you see them, and that's the Bengals. Team Money. You still believing in this team? The Bengals got a shot at the playoffs.
It's crazy. I hate this. Look, it all starts tonight. Chargers versus the Broncos. Okay? If Denver loses this game, I will feel very positive about our chances. Because right now, we have to win out. We also need Broncos or Chargers to lose out. So whoever loses this game tonight must lose out. The easiest path is for us to have Denver lose, because then we play Denver next week. So then it would come down to Denver losing the last week of the season, and that's how we could sneak into the playoffs. Miami's got to lose one. The Colts got to lose one. That's fine. But the Broncos play the Chiefs the last week of the season. That's not an easy game. That's a divisional game. So there's a chance, and I wouldn't want to face this team again. It's kind of like the Bills. These guys are going to put up 35 points, no questions. Their defense is just leaky. It reminds me of the Bills. It reminds me of Detroit. This offense is potent. Do you want to face those kind of guys in a do-or-die situation where Joe Burrow's going to throw for 350 and 5 touchdowns? I would not. So yeah, it's a scary team. They're on a roll right now. I love Cincy here. We've won 2 in a row finally. Jeez. Look, they're not dead, but we need a lot of help. So go Chargers tonight.
All right, good points. That will get exciting there to see them come down to the last game.
Yeah,
and interesting looking back. The Bengals could be the kryptonite to the Bills. Looking back at their last 3 times that they played, if the Bengals happen to get in the playoffs and go to Buffalo, you look at their last 3 games at Cincinnati, January 2023, the game that got canceled, the Bengals are beating the heck out of Buffalo in that game.
Yeah.
And would have won that game. And it got canceled. And then following that game into the playoffs, they faced again in Buffalo, and the Bengals beat them by 17.
Yeah.
Then later in November, the next year, week 9 of the next year, they play at home in Cincinnati. Cincinnati wins by 6. So they're beating them up, Cincinnati.
Yeah.
If they get a hold of the Bills, they can take them out.
Yeah, Cincinnati's certainly not afraid to go to Buffalo. They've done it. They're fine. They play Buffalo great. So, yeah, and I'm sure Buffalo's staring down the AFC standings right now like, please, God, do not let us play the Bengals in the first round of the playoffs. So that would be, an interesting, fun matchup. But don't call us dead yet. But, I'm not going to hold my breath because, the Bengals could just let the Browns win because our defense is atrocious. But it's going to be a fun few weeks if we can get a couple, balls to bounce our way.
Hey, thanks to our show sponsor, Blue Tees Golf. Go to blueteesgolf.com, everybody. Find affordable, high-quality golf products that can help pick up your golf game, speakers, rangefinders. Enter the coupon code FSHS. Get a 10% discount on your order. And do us a favor, press that like and subscribe button. Help us continue to bring you the fun every week. Let's shift gears. Let's go to some of those bets. Let's talk about winning you some cash, everybody, like we've been doing. Father-son sports, 54% against the spread this year, including player props. Not bad. And we're going to give you our lock pick of the week. We're going to give you our dog lock, a dog that we think could win. And we'll give you our prime player props, I started calling it, for week 16. But before we do that, T-Money, let's talk Super Bowl bet. So now's the time to bet on the Super Bowl, everybody. And let me give you these odds, and then let's see what T-Money, if he had to put a bet down, who would he bet to win the Super Bowl? And I'm giving you an example. Here's the Bills on top, plus 425. What's that mean? If you bet 100 on the Bills, you get 525 back. You get 425 in profit plus your $100 bet. So that's how it works. So the Bills are plus 425, and T-Money, I think there's probably 2, 4, 6, I'm going to say 8 of these teams could win the Super Bowl. And we got the Eagles plus 450, a little bit more than the Bills. The Lions plus 450. Those are the top 3. Who do you think's the best bet? I'm going to ask you in a second. Chiefs are plus 600. Ravens plus 850. Watch out for that. And then you got some long shots. Vikings and Packers both plus 1400. Unless you like the Bucks, the Buccaneers plus 3000. Team money. You can only pick one of those teams. Which one you putting the bet on?
Hey, I'll take the fourth best odds here. Give me some free money. I feel like I'll take the Chiefs. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Number one seed. They get a bye most likely. They got to go through Arrowhead, which is a hard place to play. They're gonna host the AFC Championship game. It's gonna happen. They're gonna win their first playoff game and then host someone else. So I think this team can go to a Super Bowl, and I certainly wouldn't want. Would you pick Jared Goff or would you pick Nick Sirianni to beat Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes in a Super Bowl? Would you pick Jalen Hurts and would you pick Dan Campbell? Some of these other guys, no. So I'm taking the fourth best odds of the team that just won 2 in a row. Give me them as the best one. And I think if you want a value right now, before they get hot, the Rams are plus 4,500 right now. Okay. 4,500. They've won a Super Bowl. They're getting hot. They're going to win the division, which means they get a home game. They already played the Rams close. They've beaten some big time teams. They beat Buffalo Bills. They're on a roll. You want a great odds for a late one. The Rams is a good one.
Hey, good. I like your picks there, T-Money. Let's go back to our predictions. I'm going to give you a chance, T-Money, to change your choice to win the Super Bowl. At the beginning of the year, G-Man picked the Ravens over the Eagles in the Super Bowl. G-Man's going to stay with his pick because why not? Why not stay with it? T-Money picked Kansas City over the Rams. I don't know how your Rams are going to sneak in this, T-Money. What a pick there for the Rams to win the NFC. But do you stick with your pick, Kansas City over the Rams?
Hey, I'm sticking with my guns here. All right.
Okay.
Sticking with my guns. I like my pick. The Eagles are going to be tough to beat, but the Rams have the firepower, and they are the only team in that NFC that's won a championship recently. Stafford is the only Super Bowl winning quarterback over in the NFC. I trust him and McVay in a big spot.
Okay, good. Hey, let's go to our lock pick of the week. And T-Money, you got your lock pick of the week.
Yeah, real quick, I'll go Detroit minus 6.5 versus the Bears here. Look, I know they played them earlier. They only won by 3 points. It was a short week, Thanksgiving Day. Everyone's pumped up. They kind of came scrambling back when Detroit already had this thing locked up in the first half. It was 20-0 at halftime, and Detroit just coasted, or 16-0 at half. Detroit coasted in the second half. Detroit cannot rest. They just lost to Buffalo. They're pissed off, and they can lose the 1 seed and move all the way down to the 5 seed if they lose, especially a divisional game, because Minnesota's on their heels. I think they're going to come in here pissed off and blow this team out. And the last 2 weeks, Chicago's only scored 12 points and 13 points. This offense is sputtering. So give me the Lions to just throttle them in a statement game in the division.
Okay, good one. And I'm going to go with that Bills pick as one of my locks here, T-Money, that I mentioned earlier. I like the Bills there to blow out the Patriots. I get minus 14. Okay, fine. Bills are 9-5 against the spread this year. They're 4-2 against the spread as home favorites. The Patriots are not doing well against the spread, and they're bottom 10 in the NFL in yards per play allowed. Watch out. So there's one. My bonus favorite pick is one I gave you last week. We won on the Bengals last week. Let's go back to the well. Bengals minus 7.5. Buy it down to 7. Versus Tennessee, Sunday at 1 o'clock. How about those two picks?
All right. I like it. Well, let's go my lock pick of the week, or my dog lock here, which I am not confident in. There's not a lot of great dogs this week that I like anywhere. So I'm going to throw a dart at the wall here and hope it sticks. I'm going to go with the Commanders plus 3.5 versus the Eagles. Okay.
Well,
look, I know they played a tougher game versus the Eagles last time. They only scored 18 points. It was 26-18 Eagles. Now they're at home. The Commanders need this to stay in the hunt, to stay in the playoffs as well. Right now they're the 7th seed with Seattle on their heels. They can't afford a loss. I think they could come in here and win this game. Like I said, the Eagles are locked in to at least the 2 seed. You can kind of rest on your laurels here, and not really have to fight for a home playoff game. So I think the Commanders could come in hot and sneak one after this hot Eagles team everyone's talking up right now after their last win versus Steelers.
Yeah. Well, that's a good pick, Team. It's a good pick. That should be a close one. I'm going to go to that Texans-Chiefs game. This one has went from 2.5 to 3. It's now 3 with the Chiefs. But you know what? I feel more confident here in the under on this game, T-Money. I'm going under here for my dog lock. Why? I think it's going to be a close game. If you have to go dog, you go Texans. But if you want to pick the right, I think more of a lock would be the under. The under's 8-6 and the Chiefs 14 games. And the Texans are the best under team in the NFL this year. So this is a low over-under. It's a 41.5, but I still like it. So let's go with that for the dog lock, Team Money.
All right, that's great. Well, let's continue with G-Man's picks here in the favorite segment during the bets, and that's G-Man's player prop of the week. What you got, G?
Hey, 4-1 last week. We gave you the 5-pack and hit on 4 of them. And this week, we're going to give you the 3-pack, Team Money. I'm going to make it really quick for you, really easy. Anytime touchdowns to 2 players. Josh Allen, 5 games in a row, 2+ the last 3 weeks. Anytime touchdown, Josh Allen.
All right.
Sunday at 4. And Sunday at 1, Jahmyr Gibbs, anytime touchdown. He's had at least 1 in 4 of the last 5 games, at least 1. And Montgomery's out. So I like Gibbs here to fill it in. Touchdown Sunday at 1. And I'll give you a third one, Team Money, the Saturday special. Games on Saturday this week, everybody. Get ready. Lamar under 0.5 interceptions. I gave it to you last week. It hit last week. Another game with some running, low scoring versus the Steelers here. 11 of 14 games, Lamar's had no interceptions. Let's do it again, Lamar.
All right. I like it, G.
Okay, there's 3 for you, baby. Hey, let's go to fantasy. Let's have some fun.
Come on.
T-Money and G-Man in the fantasy playoffs semifinals.
Yeah, buddy.
Winner goes to the finals for the big money, T-Money. So, good luck to you starting tonight, T-Money, and good luck to all you fantasy managers. I hope you're in the playoffs. You're working your way through to the title game, and we record our shows on Wednesday, so be aware of that. Also, check your weather reports. Not really bad weather this week, but there could be a couple games like Seattle where there could be tons of rain. So check it out. All right, let's go to our games. We got hot and cold. We got take or mistake, and we got the daily fantasy lineup, DFS. G-Man's going to start it off with the hot stardom plays. And 5 weeks in a row, we've gave you winning running backs. This week, we're giving you Chuba Hubbard. Chuba Hubbard at home versus Arizona. Hubbard ended up with 8 fantasy points last week. You say, G-Man, why are you picking him? Because he had 8 fantasy points last week. Are you going to start him this week? Yes, G-Man says. Why? He's got the clear backfield lead right now. Brooks is sidelined. He's out. He also remained as the pass catcher last week. So the third game out of the last 5, he's had at least 4 catches. Start him up, boys. Hubbard bounces back in week 16, and he's only $6,800 on DraftKings, under $7,000 for a guy that's going to be playing all 3 downs. Chuba Hubbard, start him and watch him. Running back flex pick of the week.
All right. I like it. Well, let's go to my cold pick of the week here. My cold pick is DeAndre Swift, somehow projected for 13.8 versus Detroit. Detroit is number 6 in fantasy versus running backs. And not only that, the last time they played Detroit recently, he only had 9.4 points. He also hasn't been over 10 points PPR in his last 5 games and hasn't been over 6 out of his last 7. So this guy is not scoring a lot of points, and he's already faced a team that shut him down. Don't understand this line here. DeAndre Swift, my cold running back of the week.
Okay, good one, T Money. Hey, let's go to wide receiver this week. I'm going out on a limb here, T Money. You see this right here? We're going Rams Cooper Cup. How about that? At the
All
Jets
right.
on Sunday. Who has the guts to make that pick on these fantasy shows? G-Man does. Cooper Cup let us down last week. No points. The Rams scored 12 points. If the Jets light up the scoreboard again with Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, this could be high scoring. Cup entered last week with at least 60 receiving yards, 5 of the previous 6 games. He'll get back on track this week, everybody. Start him up, boys. Cup's only 6,500 on DraftKings. Start him and watch him, baby. Wide receiver flex pick of the week.
All right. All right. Love it, G. My cold wide receiver of the week here. Jalen Waddle. Okay, Jalen Waddle's been a bit of a roller coaster since Tua's come back here. He's projected 12.9 versus San Francisco. Look, they're number 4 versus wide receivers this year, so that's a tough matchup to begin with. Tyreek Hill, I think, is going to have a good game, and that means I don't think Jalen Waddle is going to get the ball that much. He's only had 1 touchdown in his last 6 games and 1 game with double-digit targets all season. So really, it's about him getting yards, and I don't see it. Even last game, he had 0 points with 2 targets. So, he's trending in the wrong direction here. Again, unless he gets a lot of targets and catches, I don't think he's going to do it. And versus a tough San Francisco defense, he's my cold wide receiver of the week.
And he may be questionable, too. He's been injured. I'm not sure if he's out this week. So check that out. Let's go to Take or Mistake, our next game for T-Money. He doesn't know who we're going to pick. We give him a player that had a big week. T-Money tells us whether we should take the bait or would that be a mistake. All right, T-Money, let's go to it. Let's ask T-Money about the Tennessee Titans backfield. Backfield mates, Tyjae Spears and Tony Pollard. Spears rushed the ball only 4 times for 5 yards. Got a touchdown, though, and added 6 catches for 87 yards and another score, 27 points for Spears. He produced well as a pass catcher with Mason Rudolph under center. Tony Pollard, however, remains the lead back in Tennessee. He's been playing through foot and ankle injuries for 2 months. Let's assume Pollard plays this week, T-Money. You have to start one of these guys. You're the fantasy manager. They're playing the Colts. Which one is the take, T-Money, and which one is the mistake?
You got to start Pollard. He just gets more touches here. All right. You got to start Pollard. I know Spears had a lot more catches, but Pollard's been involved in the passing game a lot, getting 2 to 4 targets a game. He's also getting crazy amount of touches, like 15 plus touches, and sometimes over 20 a game. Just as the runner, he's gonna get in the end zone versus a bad Indianapolis Colts run defense. So I think that you have to start Pollard here. I know he's a little banged up, so if he's out, Spears is the guy. But right now, Pollard is the go-to one.
Okay, T-Money made that easy. That's good. I thought I might stump you there with that one, but you just handled it, man. Oh. Hey, let's go to my DFS lineup here, pulling this all together, wrapping up our show. Okay, let's go. Let's go to Kyler Murray, only going for $6,100. Really dropping down in price tag in the DFS. And I just think that's so low on the price. Yeah. I'm going to go with Kyler Murray here. And let's go to Chuba Hubbard. I talked about him in that running back position. Aaron Jones, good price, $6,400. I got Kupp at the wide receiver with Zay Flowers and Devontae Smith, who both are under 6,000 for starting wide receivers. I got Kincaid at the tight end. We got Tyjae Spears, T-Money, at the flex. And then we got the Rams defense. So that's our DFS lineup for the week, T-Money. That's it for today's show. Get ready for NFL Week 16, everybody. Games Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And by the way, go Buckeyes on Saturday night. You don't want this, Tennessee. Hey, Father-Son Sports loves bringing you the NFL energy. We hope you had fun. On behalf of T-Money, I'm G-Man. Enjoy the games.
All right. Peace.